Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Q Live. It's good to see you again. My name is Bill Selleck. Pronouns are he, him. I am Director of Technology at Hillbrook School, independent school in the San Jose-ish area. And I am here with the effervescent Mike Lawrence, Tech Maverick. Mike, how are you?
Hey there, I'm doing well. Glad to be here, Bill.
Glad to have you here. Who are you? Tell us about yourself.
So I'm Mike Lawrence, he, him pronouns. I'm in Southern California-ish, and I currently am the Education Leadership Executive at Jamf, one of two, and thrilled to be presenting once again at Fall Q. And I realized, I was just telling you this, 20 years ago was my first attendance at a Fall Q, back in the early days of Fall Q when we used to move it around in big venues. But it was 20 years ago this year.
Congrats. Yay.
Very cool. So it's a fun little milestone for me. But yes, many may know me from Q circles. I had the honor of leading Q as the first executive director, then CEO for 13 years, just about. And it was an extraordinary period. And Q has given me so much. I'm always trying to find ways to give back.
Nice. Where's the Q pun in there? Give back to Q?
Back Q back, Q. I don't know.
We'll come up with it.
There's a kudos in there somewhere.
There it is. All right. But we're going to start off with a little surprise. Speaking of memory lanes.
Oh, yeah.
Danny, happy anniversary.
Danny Silva. I hired him back in November of 2011. So it occurred to me that we're just a month away from his Q-anniversary. He's been there 10 years. So kudos to you, Danny. And hope that there's 10 amazing more years at least ahead.
Yay. That's fantastic. So you have helped out for a long time with the California Student Media Festival. My students, when I was teaching second grade, actually won an award. I remember going down with one of my second graders to receive the award in Hollywood. If I recall, we wrote a music video, an original song. There it is for Cardinal Directions. Never Eat Soggy Waffles was the video we did. I think it's still up on the YouTubes, as my mom would call them. I have fond memories of being a classroom teacher, participating in the California Student Media Festival, and to see second graders hearing that they won an award and that there's an award ceremony in Hollywood. Oh man,
it's amazing.
A lot of people don't know about it.
It's like the Oscars for kids.
It totally is. Tell us a little bit about California Student Media Festival.
You bet. So the California Student Media Festival is the nation's oldest student media festival. It's free to enter, free to attend, always will be. It's sponsor and volunteer run. It wouldn't happen without the generous sponsors and volunteers that donate their time and funds to make it possible. Students enter usually between January and March. We have the festival sometime April, May, or June. We've been doing it virtually the last 2 years, which we kind of like. It's actually, I got to be honest, it's kind of cool because kids could come from anywhere and parents are right there with them, cheering them on. And
that's cool.
If you haven't been, I mean, the kids come down and they, you know, if it's in person, they hold the award and they say, I'd like to thank my teacher and my classmates and my parents. And we tell them if they get stuck up there or they don't know what to say. And that happens. Kids get up there and they get tongue tied. It's their first time on a microphone in front of, you know, cameras and all that and lights. So we tell them if you ever get stuck, you can just thank the sponsors, because no one's going to be upset if you thank the sponsors. So we coach them on that. It's a great experience. It's my favorite day of the year. Every year I just take off the day before to prep. I work with Hall Davidson, who was a past director. I was a past director. Our current director is Glenn Warren, who's heavily involved in Q. He runs the Q Authors, Meet the Authors event every year, and he does the library information media event at Spring Q, I believe. And he's a little bit, I don't know if you've met him. He's a little bit.
Yeah, Glenn Warren is an amazing, extraordinary human.
Yeah, very shy, quiet, soft-spoken. You wouldn't know him walking in the room. He doesn't sort of, he's kind of unassuming in that way. No, I'm kidding, of course. He makes me look quiet, which I actually enjoy. It puts me into a nice place. So it's a fabulous thing. Like I said, it's free to enter, free to, but you know what I didn't say? You can win prizes, not just the plaque, but we actually give kids' schools, the winners' schools, donations. This year it was $750. We gave 8 of those scholarships out to the schools. And so it actually helps the programs themselves. So if you're looking for some funding, this might be a way to help get funding for specific programs at your schools as well. And again, it's all at mediafestival.org, which I see you've got up on the thing there, which is awesome. It will be celebrating our 56th annual festival this May, probably is what we're looking at. And we'll open up the call for submissions in January. So Glenn and Hall and me and Barbara Nemco and the rest of the steering committee are all looking forward to some amazing submissions this year and some outstanding student creativity. It's K through 12. It's open to any school, public, private, charter, doesn't matter. Even an after-school program can enter. We do limit it to K-12, however. We've had some community college and university folks ask if they can help out. And we've said, you can judge. You can come in and volunteer as a judge. We'd love to have you volunteer the day of, but we don't accept submissions. And we do limit it to California. We've had some folks from New York submit stuff. And while it's awesome, we do encourage them to submit to the other festivals in their regions. We also have a page that's called Steal This Festival. So if you want to do something similar at a regional level or a district level, we have a whole page with PDFs and guides and templates of here's how we do what we do. Please steal it, take it, and run a similar festival for your region or your state if you're outside of California. So that's all the stuff that we try and do with the Media Festival.
So exciting. You know, it's interesting. You just kind of gloss over the fact that you're doing remote award ceremonies.
Yes.
Like the ability, you know, clearly like in the last 50 plus years, but even in the last 5 years, what we're able to do with video and how quickly we can create professional looking videos. And then the cost just continues to just come down, down. It's pretty amazing. You know, it's one of those where, you know, at some point, if you've written off video, it's so accessible. You know, that's what I love about Apple devices. You know, like you give a student an iPad, it's an entire like production studio.
What's really crazy, I agree, absolutely. It's gotten so much easier. What's really crazy is that we were doing multicasts award festivals in 2 locations using early video conferencing technology in the 90s and in the early aughts. I actually hosted the festival up in Northern California, and we would do a simultaneous North and South festival, and then we would link up at the end for the grand prize winners. And we knew, of course, ahead of time who was going to be there in the Northern California and who was going to be there in South, and we'd send the plaques to the appropriate location. But it was a surprise to the audience. Like they didn't know if it was going to be one of the folks in the North that would come up and accept the award or in the South. And so at that time, Hall would host, he would MC, still MCs in the South, and I was hosting and MCing in the North. And we just jointed it together. But that was like 07, 08. It was crazy. When we were doing that. Now it is so much easier, so much better quality. The bandwidth is better. And you can have folks fired up from like literally we had a kid accept an award while they were on a boat on a mobile phone, and the signal was there and it was working. And we could see them live on the boat rocking like, oh, I'm so excited to accept this award. And we were like, okay, people, this never would have happened before without the technology and mobile devices and the bandwidth that we have. So yeah, it is extraordinary.
That's so great. By the way, here's the Steal This Festival page on California Student Media Festival, mediafestival.org. So if you want to do it, it couldn't be easier to make your own media festival.
And there's a session, if you want to learn more about it, there's a session towards the end of Fall Q that you could go check out. And Hall and Glenn and Barbara, I think, are leading that, which should be great. They also showcase some of the past winners. So you might even see your own students' work.
Oh, so fun. So fun. Yeah. I mean, like even right now, you and I, like this used to only be in person, and the early days of Q Live, we would have, you know, entire production crew, 1 or 2 people with cameras, someone running sound, someone running the live stream. You know, it was a hefty production. And I think 2, maybe 3 years ago at Fall Q, we had somebody come to help and actually got sick on the way. So we ended up just using our phones.
Yes.
You know, like
I think I remember that.
Random like USB microphones that connect with phones, and we actually ran Q Live literally from our phones the entire weekend. You know, and it wasn't like as fancy as it is right now with StreamYard, but we were able to do Facebook Live, and it worked. Right?
That's why I love this work that we both engage in. The fact that we're in educational technology, in general, things get cheaper, faster, and better every year. and new capabilities roll out. And so it's by definition an optimistic endeavor. It's something that really aligns with my sort of worldview that we can work together and things get better. That's why I love the community of CUE, because it's a group of educators, so they're already selfless, and it's a particular group of educators that are willing to try new things, that also find ways to dive in and use technology, and that technology keeps getting better, lighter, faster, cheaper every year. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, and simpler, right? Like that's what actually I've never thought about it until this moment. Is it actually being an early adopter, which I would definitely consider myself being one. Every year you're just like, my goodness, like this light, like if I just turn this, I'm just in the corner of my office and I normally just have the background, but like, we have a green screen. Let's do this. If I just turn right here, there's our TV, there's a bathroom, there's the light, and this light was like $50.
Right. Wait, you're not in the lobby of the Palm
I'm not in the lobby.
This whole time I thought you were. Oh,
no,
wow.
I am. Hang on. Hang on. I need to run over to Oasis 4 real quick for the main.
Here he goes, everybody. It's the Q5K that he's taking.
Oh, I'm there. Oh man. Yeah, look at that. We gotta. Wait, this is not spring Q. This is fall Q.
Is that fall Q?
This is fall. Yeah, this is at spring Q. This is Oasis 4. So.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. See, it's a disconnect. See, but it's a teaser. It's spring Q. You could submit a session for right now. You could register for it. You could book your hotel for spring Q. So you're just promoting. You're just thinking ahead there.
I am. Yeah. No, I'm actually just in Stockton right now. I didn't realize it wasn't in person.
Oh, is that your Stockton background?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Nondescript back alley. Yeah. I wonder if this is funny to anybody else. I'm having a fantastic time right now.
Playing with the backgrounds, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it reminds me of here. I'll go for the more professional look. With Wayne's World, remember? Do you remember that whole scene where they first got the green screen?
Oh yeah.
And they're like, "Hi, I'm in Delaware." We're doing our own version of
Very few people will catch that reference, but I'm with you. I am with you. I just have no yes and at this moment. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Do you want to talk a little about your session as we wrap things up?
Sure. I am doing a session called Asking the Right Questions. It's actually a session that was inspired by Sarah Armstrong's presentation on question formulation technique that I saw at Fall Q a couple of years back. Remember when we used to do in-person conferences? That was where I saw Sarah do this presentation, and it introduced me to question formulation technique. I'm putting my own spin on it, bringing a couple other ideas to the party, doing a presentation on asking the right questions. It's Sunday afternoon, I think just before JR takes the stage for his closing keynote, and I hope you can all join me. Should be fun. Well, there's even a gift. I give you guys a gift at the end of the session if you stay.
You give us a gift? Is it a totally rad gift?
Yeah, a totally rad gift. Even though it's virtual, I will give every attendee a gift. I'll make it happen. I know it's nuts, but I'm going to pull it off. So watch out. You watch.
Good. All right. So last thing, you just mentioned JR's keynote. Be sure and check that out. We are closing out our conference with that. He is an amazing human. He is a good friend. He is a fantastic inspirational speaker. If you've not heard JR speak, if you've not had that privilege, my goodness, be there.
What I love about it is that he's been such a staunch advocate for educational technology and educators in general, but he's never had the spotlight. He's always been one of those quiet, excellent educators out there. And it's so neat that Fall Q is giving him the spotlight. So, way to go and knock it out of the park, JR.
Yes. Although I just grabbed my Ethernet cable and shook my mic. This is why I don't play sports, Mike.
Yeah, I try not even to go into sports metaphors because I don't know how to use them appropriately, and I'm liable to mix metaphors. So I took a chance there. But I'm glad you were able to play along and catch the sport and at least the right behavior.
If we only had our own baseballs, if we were baseball fans, you could throw it and I could catch it. It would look like we're in this room.
Once upon a time, we talked about having a game of cue ball, and it was going to be a softball tournament, and then we were going to play. Let's see, what was it called? It was cue football, and we were going to have a soccer tournament. And we were going to have Mac versus Windows with, it was going to be iOS versus Android. And we were going to find somebody that still used a BlackBerry to be the official.
Perfect.
That was the plan, and we couldn't find anyone, so we didn't do the game.
Those running the scoreboard will be Palm OS friends.
Yeah, Palm OS, Web OS, yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, awesome, Mike. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. How do we find you on the internets?
Well, I'm still Tech Maverick, and you can find me on Twitter or Instagram with Tech Maverick. You can find me at mikelawrence.me, and you can find me at Jamf. Bounce around, and we just had our user conference at Jamf, and you'll see me at other events in that capacity as well. So yeah, I'm not too hard to find.
Awesome. Well, thanks for hopping on Q Live, and thank you all for joining us for another episode of Q Live.